24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40...
Fancy drink?
42, what?
Drink.
44, not just now, I'm counting. You get one.
No, I don't think I will.
44, 46, 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60. Oh, dear. Here, I've lost count. Anything the matter, Mr. Hunter?
No.
Well, you seem all of a fidget. Is something worrying you?
No.
Oh, well, now I've got to start all over again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Well, don't stand there watching me, because it makes me go wrong.
All right. I'm sorry. What are you knitting, by the way?
I lost count. It's a pullover for Gordon.
Taking you a long time, isn't it? You've been at that ever since you first joined the firm.
Yes, but this isn't the same one. I've knit a dozen since then.
Oh, I see.
Can't you get something to do, Mr. Hunter? I mean, get yourself a nice jigsaw puzzle or something.
I don't like jigsaws.
Oh, well, do something.
I tried knitting once.
You didn't.
Oh, yes, I did, when I was in the Navy. A scarf. Well, at least I started it.
Why didn't you finish it?
I could never get the hang of casting off. When it got as long as a hammock, I packed it in.
What's that tune you're playing?
The Eton boating song.
Well, you didn't go to Eton, did you?
Oh, good Lord, no. I went to Bradbury.
Well, I went to Canal Road Council School. And you wouldn't believe it, but I was quite good at my school.
Oh, I do believe, Mrs. T. I wasn't so good at my school. I wish I'd been to a day school like you instead of a boarding school like Bradbury.
Oh, well, I suppose they packed you off when you was a nipper because they didn't want you at home.
Oh, something like that. My parents haven't the slightest interest in where I was educated, so at random they chose Bradbury.
And you didn't like it?
No. Oh, I was prejudiced, of course. I got the impression I'd been sent there so that they could conveniently forget about me for several months of the year. Have you ever been to a public school?
No, I went to Canal Road, I told you.
No, I mean to visit.
No, I wouldn't want to go to a place like that. See all those poor little mites crying their eyes out for their mums and dads?
Oh, I doubt that. No, there were advantages, of course. I regret now I was never able to settle down and enjoy them.
Oh, well, I think it's a pity to separate little children from their mothers and fathers when they're so young. If that isn't breaking up the family, I don't know what is. Still, in your case, I expect you were such a handful they was glad to pack you off.
What I needed, Mrs. T, was you to keep an eye on me.
Oh, no, I wouldn't have wanted a job like that, thank you very much. Whoever can that be this time of night?
I'll go and see.
No, let Sally go.
Don't worry, I'm halfway there by now. Good evening, Charles.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mrs. Thursday.
Sir Charles. How very nice to see you. And how's your lady wife, Lady Barker?
Well, she's got laryngitis.
Oh, Dr. Watson's licorice and honey essence.
I beg your pardon?
There's nothing like it for bad throats, because we always used to say bad throats means bad drains, you know. When my Aunt Clary, she had laryngitis, she blamed it on the drains.
Thank you. I'll tell Elizabeth.
Yes, I'll write the name down for you.
Thank you.
You fancy a drink, Sir Charles?
Well, I wouldn't say no to a whiskey and soda.
You've got to warm it, you know.
I'd rather have ice.
Oh, no, I mean the essence.
Oh. Change your mind, Mrs. T.
Yes.
Oh, well, I wouldn't say no to a small port.
Well, Mrs. Thursday, I won't waste time. I'll come straight to the point. I want to talk to you about the Bradbury speech day.
Oh, that's funny. We was just talking of Bradbury. Mr. Hunter used to go there. Did you know that?
Yes, he did mention it. Thank you. Well, as you know, Mr. Dunwich was very interested in the school. Possibly on account of Hunter.
Oh, don't blame me. I tried to steer him away from it. He had a twisted sense of humor.
Yes, well, be that as it may, he did a great deal for the school. He gave them a swimming pool. He gave them a lot of other bequests. And I was made one of the financial advisors to the Board of Governors just to keep an eye on his interests. Now, this year, Mr. Dunwich was to have given away the prizes.
Of course, he can't now, can he, poor man?
As you say. His unfortunate demise has left us rather in a hole. So the headmaster has asked me if you will take his place.
Me? Well, be headmaster? Oh, I haven't got the brains.
Mr. Charles means go down to the school on speech day and present the prizes.
Oh, no. Oh, I couldn't do that. But stand up there like a fish out of water. I couldn't do that.
But don't you think you have a duty to his memory? Dunwich House, everything. Bradbury was very close to his heart, you know.
Oh, well, of course, you talk the hind leg off a donkey.
Splendid. Just a few words. Excellent whiskey, this, Hunter.
Oh, no, I never said nothing about speaking.
No, just a few words.
Yes, I heard you the first time.
Yes, literally a few words. We'll get them out for you. Ah, yes, Bradbury. Yes, quite a good school. We at Melchester used to play them, beat them more often than not. Yes, you know, those were really some of the happiest days of my life.
Oh, your life, possibly. Every man to his opinion. Ghastly food.
I don't know, I rather like the old plum duff.
Breaking the ice to wash every morning in winter.
Beaten up once a month.
Once a day, you mean?
Well, little bullying's good for character.
Oh, yes. Some of our finest criminals started off as small-time bullies.
And then the rugger.
Ah, the rugger.
Yes. Do you know, I broke both ankles in the same season.
I broke both arms in the same match.
Same match?
Well, to stretch a point.
Oh, what is this? This sounds more like a battlefield than a school. Do you mean to say your parents let you go through all that?
Worse, they actually paid for it.
That's splendid training. Nothing like it, Mrs. Thurston.
You're so right, nothing.
Well, here's the headmaster's letter. It'll give you a chance to see your nephew, Hunter.
If I go.
Yes, but I really must get back to Elizabeth now. Thank you very much for the drink, Mrs. Thursday.
Oh, yes, and give Lady Barker my conjuring guard.
Yes,
and don't forget the essence.
Oh, yes, I've got to warn it. Well, I'll see you at the board meeting on Friday.
Yes, and carbolic down the drains.
Oh, yes.
Speech day. Magnificent swimming pool. 2 leaving scholarships. To see you down the...
I didn't want to say anything in front of Charles, but if you don't feel equal to it...
Oh, it's a bit late now, isn't it? Look, you cooked this up between you now, didn't you? I mean, the way you was fidgeted about before he came and all going on about Bradbury, it was a fiddle.
No. He asked me to speak to you. I said no. So I don't want you to go if you don't want to. There are plenty of other people.
Oh, no, I think I'd like to have a butcher's of the place. I've never seen a public school, and I'd like to know if it's as bad as you say.
You don't know the half. Why do you suppose I ran away?
Oh, but you're going to run back now, aren't you?
What makes you think I'm going?
Well, if you think I'm going down there all on my own, you've got another thing coming. I'll see you. I won't let them break your bones this time. But why do they call it a public school?
Because originally it was one. It was founded in 1550 for the free education of divers poor scholars. Over the years, it's all been changed. Now they have to pay extremely high fees.
So it's really a private school?
Yes.
But they call it public.
That's right.
Well, it isn't public.
No.
Oh, well, seems crazy to me. Why don't they make up their minds?
I never thought I'd be going back.
You went back last month to see your nephew.
No, not to the school. I met him in town. I felt I had to with his parents in Hong Kong.
Oh, well, I think it's a good idea we're going down before speech day. You know, I can see what I'm in for. And I can meet your nephew. What's his name?
David. Well, we can take him out to tea, perhaps.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, there it is. The dear old school.
Oh, looks like Wormwood Scrubs to me.
Not so easy to get out of.
Well, I think bread and butter, cakes and tea for 5. What's the matter? Have I said something wrong?
I think perhaps I'd better order.
Well, if you can do it better.
Tea, bread and butter and cake for 2, please. The lot?
Oh, yes, please.
That goes for all of you?
Yes, please, sir.
Sausages, peas, baked beans, tomatoes, jam puffs, meringue, sardines on toast, lemonade, Welsh rabbit for 3, please.
Mr. Auntie 11 busting their breeches.
And large helpings, please.
Oh, of course. I forgot you've been on school grub. When was the last time you had anything to eat?
We've had nothing but a bit of bread and scrape all day.
Bread and scrape?
Yeah, that's all.
You know, it's a scandal. Well, it ought to be shown up. It really ought to be shown up.
Oh, come off it, Tim. We had a pretty decent lunch. Steak and kidney pie, roast potatoes, cabbage, apple tart and custard.
You're not kidding again, are you?
No, cross my heart.
But you said the food here was terrible.
Things must have changed.
We all had food poisoning last term.
Ah, that's more like it.
Sam was absolutely full when I was in there.
Bilious attack.
No, I'd broken my leg.
Just like old times.
I'd broken my wrist. My right one, luckily, so I couldn't ride.
Better and better. I was beginning to give up hope.
Oh, it's nothing to joke about. Oh, it's worse than a beer garden. I'm going to tell them so, don't you worry.
No, I'd like to be there when you say it.
You will, dear. I shall say it in my speech on Tuesday.
I can't wait to hear that.
Well, you're a nice one to talk. You went on about this school, something chronic.
Well, if you ask me, the sooner the place goes comprehensive, the better.
That's girls, isn't it? No, you can't. Let's go in.
Oh, crank stuff.
Well, don't you like girls?
Well, birds are strictly for the holidays, in my opinion. They'd be useful in a drama group. That's all you ever think about.
Are you still keen on the theatre, David?
Keen?
It's besotted.
Oh, well, I'll take you to a West End show next time you're in town. How about the Mousetrap?
No, thank you very much.
Oh. What do you like?
The theatre of cruelty. The theatre of the absurd. The theatre of fact. The theatre of madness. The real theatre, in fact.
Cruelty and madness? Whatever next? Is that what they teach you to like at a public school?
Oh, no, quite the opposite. Well, I believe that is the real theatre.
Sounds horrible theatre to me.
Well, do you go to the theatre, Mrs. Thursday?
Oh, well, I love the music hall. I used to go every Friday night.
Ah, music hall. That's a real people's art form.
Is it? Oh, well, I enjoyed it anyway.
Well, actually, I'm producing the prize day play.
Oh, good for you. What's it called?
Ugg and Thug.
Haganu?
No, not who. Thug. Ugg and Thug.
Hagenthag, funny title, isn't it?
This is an intriguing title. Obviously a light comedy.
Oh, no, it's the new Stephen Hackett play. Well, it makes Waiting for Godot look completely old hat. It shouldn't be acted at all. Just sort of felt.
Oh. Where exactly are you supposed to feel it?
I'm Ugg and Lois Thug. They're only the two characters.
Economical, too.
Has it got a good story, love? I mean, happy ending?
Well, I don't know about the ending. It hasn't got one, really. It has these rich subconscious images. And, of course, it operates on different levels. Well, look, why don't you come and see for yourself? We're rehearsing this evening. I'm sure the head will give his permission.
Come in.
Hello, Hunter. How are you?
Well, thank you, Headmaster. May I introduce Mrs. Thursday? This is Mr. Baxter.
How do you do, Mrs. Thursday?
How do you do?
I was delighted when young Hunter asked if you could be present at this rehearsal. Now, I'm going, and nothing's more depressing than being an audience of one. Can I get you a glass of sherry?
No, thank you very much.
Oh. Hunter?
Please. Oh, do sit down, won't you? How's my nephew doing, Headmaster?
Well, if he gave half the attention he gives to the drama to his other subjects, I think we'd be more satisfied. I had to give him 6th the best the other day. Are you sure you won't have some sherry, Mrs. Thursday?
No, thank you ever so. 6 of the best what?
I whacked him.
What for?
Oh, cutting chapel with monotonous regularity.
Thank you.
You don't approve of corporal punishment, Mrs. Thursday?
No, not hitting them, I don't. If you can't keep boys in order without knocking them about, well, I think there's something wrong. I always found giving them nothing but tapioca pudding for lunch every day did the trick.
Really? Well, perhaps we'd better try it. However, to more pleasant subjects, I can't tell you how grateful we are to you, Mrs. Thursday, for consenting to give away the prizes next Tuesday.
Oh, well, I'll do my best, but I'm not one for speechifying.
Oh, I'm sure that's not true.
No, I mean it. I'll get up there to say something, and then I find myself saying something else. I can't help it, and I go making a mess of it.
Well, you must feel free to say anything you like.
Oh, careful, Headmaster. You don't know what you're letting yourself in for. Mrs. Thursday doesn't altogether approve of the public school system. She thinks it's out of date.
My dear Mrs. Thursday, I couldn't agree more. I have constant battles with my board of governors. But, well, it's difficult to make changes overnight.
Oh, well, I expect you found it difficult being rather a young headmaster, if you'll excuse me for saying so.
Well, I'm 38.
Yes, well, do you really think it's right, like Mr. Hunter was telling me, about the boys breaking their bones all the time? I mean, you must end up with a lot of cripples.
Well, I don't think more bones are broken at Bradbury than anywhere else.
Oh, well, if I was one of the mothers, I'd kick up a dust pretty soon, I'll tell you.
Yes, I'm sure you would. Look, we've got a little time before this rehearsal. Would you like to see around the school first, Mrs. Thursday?
I wouldn't mind.
Excellent idea.
Oh, thanks. Well, come with me, will you? I'll show you the swimming bath first.
Oh, Mr. Dunwich gave that to the school.
Yes, he did.
Now look, this scene is frightfully important. It's the kernel of the play, so to speak. It's when Ugg realizes the essential being of being. All right, action.
Well, this damn thing's not safe. Have we got to do this play? It's absolute rubbish, if you ask me.
I'm not asking you.
Making fools of ourselves in front of our parents, the whole school, and that woman, Mrs. Thursday, a char.
She was a child. She isn't now, and anyway, what's wrong with that?
Just because she's come into
Well,
money.
think of last prize day, that tatty old Duchess. Well, Mrs. Thursday can't be worse than that.
Well, I think it's a disgrace to have a common old woman giving away the prize at Bradbury. It's letting the whole school down. We'll be a laughing stock.
Oh, shut up, Laurie.
No, we all know you don't give a damn for the traditions of the place. Mrs. Mop giving the prizes away, making a speech. Well, really.
I hope we haven't kept you waiting, Mrs. Thursday.
No, it's all right.
She didn't hear, did she? I hope not. You better keep your big mouth shut.
Ready, Hunter?
Yes, sir.
Come on, come through, Mrs. Thursday. You sit here. We'll have a nice front row seat.
Excuse me.
Yeah. All right?
Ready, sir?
Yes, carry on, Hunter.
Action.
It is very dark, Thug.
I could vomit.
It is very quiet, Thug.
Time is an end in itself, Thug.
Soon I shall feel sick.
Lollipop, lollipop, lollipop.
If only Glug were here.
I ask you, Ugg and Thug.
And Glug,
Oh, well, I suppose it had a meaning.
your guess is as good as mine.
Still, it's not the sort of thing you can enjoy, is it? Not like Desert Song and Rosemary.
Oh, you're not supposed to enjoy it, Mrs. T. The whole idea is to make the audience suffer.
Oh, I see. Oh, well, they'll do that all right.
I'm sorry, Hunter.
But you can't, sir.
I'm afraid I can. Now, be sensible. There's a good fellow. Ugg and Thug may be a splendid play. I'm not qualified to judge. But all I am certain of is that it's not the sort of play to perform for parents and governors on speech day. I blame myself. I should have looked in on an earlier rehearsal. And I'm sorry, sincerely sorry, Hunter, for your disappointment. We must see what we can do to arrange for a performance for the staff and senior school at the end of term.
But, sir,
I am not going to change my mind, Hunter.
but that's censorship. Blatant censorship. Well, here's a chance to do an absolutely magnificent play, a masterpiece, and you ban it.
I'm not banning it. You can produce it any time you like. Except on speech day. I am not going to upset a lot of parents and most of my governors.
Well, if anyone wants an argument against public schools, they've got one now.
Yeah, I think we'd better close this discussion.
A place so high-bound that when one tries to do something like Ugg and Thug, you can't because it would upset the governors. That dreary lot of stuffed shirts who know as much about art as my flaming Aunt Fanny.
That'll do. I'll overlook that last remark, but you'd better go. I said go, Hunter.
Very well. I will.
Well, nothing in the least serious. Right, I'll expect your sergeant. Come in. All right, thank you. Goodbye.
Have you found him?
I'm afraid not.
Any idea why he should run off like that?
Well, I did tell him last night that he couldn't do his play on speech day.
Oh, and that upset him, I suppose.
Yes, he did take it rather badly.
Ugg and Thug. No wonder you wouldn't let him do it. You've been in touch with the police, of course.
Yes, I was on the phone to them just now, just before you came in. They'll start investigations right away.
Well, didn't he leave a note or anything?
No.
Stupid idiot, running off just because you wouldn't let him do that foolish play.
Well, you ran off, didn't you?
Yes. Well, that was different.
Why?
Well, was. I wish we had some clue as to where he'd gone. I'd get after him and drag him back by the ears.
Well, I hope we find him soon, otherwise I won't be able to keep it dark. And you know the rule. Any boy who leaves the school of his own accord is automatically expelled.
I wonder where this stupidness has gone.
Well, I could guess, couldn't you?
No.
Look here, see? Yeah.
He wouldn't. It's so near.
That's what's so good. Where would you hide a leaf? In a forest.
Who said that?
Dunno. Father Brown, I suppose. He said most things, didn't he?
Yes. Come on, let's get on with it. morning, Mrs. Thursday.
Morning, Mrs. Thursday.
Now then, where is he?
Who?
Oh, come off it. I'm talking of David. Where is he?
He was terribly fed up about the play being cancelled.
Yes, he'd worked very hard, you know.
Every second of spare time he had.
Oh, not that you get much spare time in this place.
So when the head told him the thing was off.
He was fed up.
You see, every minute he had free.
He'd be rehearsing.
Well, naturally.
Yes, well, having said all that, where's he gone?
But he didn't tell us, Mrs. Thursday.
But you've seen him since he knew his play wasn't going to be done, haven't you?
Oh, yes. He came and told us.
He was hopping mad.
He was terribly keen on the play, you see.
I thought it was marvellous.
Play of the century and all that.
So naturally, when the head told him, he...
Yes, well, where's he gone?
I honestly don't know, Mrs. Thursday.
Neither do I.
You know, you think you're doing your pal a good turn, shielding him like this, but believe me, you're not. I mean, what's his parents going to think of when they hear of it? Like as not, they'll think he's dead.
I really don't know where he is, Mrs. Thursday.
No, but you could have a good guess, couldn't you?
Well, we're awfully late for practice. Now, we must scoot. Bye.
Bye.
Excuse me.
Well, a fat lot of good that was.
You think they know?
Oh, of course they know, but they're not going to tell me.
No, of course they wouldn't. Well, I've seen the headmaster. He's been in touch with the police. Aye, aye. Just look at this. There's an advertisement here marked with a cross. Rawthorne Repertory Theatre requires an assistant stage manager. You don't think...
I do. It's just the job. Well, come on, Mr. Hunter. Oh, don't stand there like a cold cup of tea. Let's go and find out.
No, darling. Once and for all, no.
Well, darling, it's the most marvellous play.
Dulcie, I am not putting on Hedda Gabler for you or for anyone else, so put that in your tiny pipe and smoke it.
Oh, but
And
darling...
Scarpa. I'm expecting someone from the Rawthorne Evening News.
Lovely publicity, darling. Oh, just think, if you put on Hedda...
No, Dulcie, what do you think this is? The National Theatre? We're a hard-working provincial rep, and come in.
Can I...
Get out. No, not you, please. Do come in and sit down. No, Dulcie, will you please go and see if Charlie Boy can rustle up some coffee? Do please come in and sit down, won't you? It's so much nicer to be cosy. Hot coffee, Dulcie!
You're not going to get...
There we are. You must forgive this chaos, only oops.
Sorry,
I'm
Mrs.
afraid
J.
we've just finished a dress rehearsal. Now then, where shall I begin? Well, do please sit down, won't you? Well, as you know, this is our first season at Rawthorne, and I can't tell you how exciting it all is. Rawthorne is such an untapped goldmine, theatre-wise, and what audiences. I mean, they're not as large as they might be, of course, but they're so keen. Now, the important thing to know is that Rawthorne is on our side. Now, that's where you come in, you see. Our policy will be dictated by... But, oh, I'm so sorry. Am I going too fast? Oh, yes, you'll be wanting to take notes, won't you?
Are you the manager here?
The manager?
Yes.
No, I'm the artistic director.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, my name's Millett. Norman Millett. Yes, I direct and perform in some of the plays myself. Whereas previously I was at the Port Merion Players. Before that, I was...
Have you seen Mr. Hunter's nephew?
No. Should I have seen it? Where's it playing?
What's he talking about?
I'm afraid there's been some misunderstanding. This is Mrs. Thursday. My name's Hunter, and my nephew isn't a play. He's a schoolboy from Bradbury.
Mrs. Thursday?
It's right.
The Mrs. Thursday?
Well, that's right.
But this is stupendous. Mrs. Thursday calling in casually on a local rep. What headlines! Your paper is certainly wicked. How fabulous.
Oh, my paper? What paper?
Well, aren't you the manager of the Rawthorne Evening News?
No, I'm Mrs. Thursday's business advisor.
A business advisor?
Yes.
You mean you've come here to discuss business, Mrs. Thursday? Well, this is marvellous. Well, now, yes, well, we get a small grant from the Arts Council, of course, but I mean, it's not nearly enough.
No.
I mean, the extra £5,000... Well,
I'm afraid we haven't come here to give you money. We're looking for Mr. Hunter's nephew.
We think he might have got a job here.
A job? What's his name?
David Hunter.
No. There's nobody of that name in my company.
You certain?
Well, of course I'm certain.
Did you put an advertisement in the paper?
Well, we don't advertise for actors.
Oh, no, this wasn't for an actor. It was for an assistant stage...
Either she goes or I do.
Oh, now, Chris, please, some other time.
Like playing scenes with a giraffe.
Oh, now, listen, Chris.
Or the post office tower. Of all the actresses in the world, you have to get someone 7 foot high to play opposite
now,
me.
listen, please,
You know the
Chris.
Eiffel Tower.
Yes, I've been there.
Would you like to play opposite it?
don't know.
Would you like to make love to it?
Make love to the Eiffel Tower?
Yes.
No.
No, and neither would I. I'm leaving.
Dear boy, but just a little bit touchy. Now, where were we?
You advertised for an assistant stage manager.
Oh, yes, so I did, yes. But we've got one.
When did you get him?
I've no idea, but he was here this morning.
Didn't you engage him?
Oh, no. The stage management does that.
Well, perhaps we could have a word with your
This
stage
is the
manager.
end.
No, Dulcie.
That stuck-up, undersized little
No,
squirt.
Dulcie, please, I have visitors.
I don't care if you have ulcers.
I have.
I am not going to play opposite that toffee-nosed, half-baked, half-witted, gormless, idiotic nit. Could you play opposite such a creature?
No, I couldn't.
Could you make love to a toad?
I don't know.
Now, Dulcie, darling.
Don't darling me, a leading man, 2 foot high.
Yes, darling. Dear girl.
But titchy.
Just the teeniest bit. Yes, but it'll all blow over.
Good. Now, perhaps we could have a word with your stage manager.
Oh, but he's in hospital, didn't I tell you? Yes, he collapsed this morning. Just like that. One of the kids had to take over.
It's like a madhouse.
No, just Monday. Simply Monday.
Well, perhaps we could have a word with your new assistant stage manager.
Yes, of course. If you insist. Here he is.
David!
Oh, blimey.
And you said you hadn't got a David Hunter here.
Well, you can't expect me to know all their names, can you? I call them all Charlie.
If you don't come at once and try to make this woman see sense, I really am leaving, and then where will you be?
I'm just not
Oh,
back.
don't come in here! Come on,
There
here!
we
I can't even come in here and have an ordinary round. It's like that in the room.
Don't worry, it'll all be all right. They were only married last week.
Well?
Well, I couldn't stand it any longer. It's as simple as that. Cancelling the play was the last straw.
You'll have to do better than that.
So you can talk. You ran away yourself. Anyway, I'm not going back. I'm committed to the theatre.
Making coffee in a provincial repertory company?
Well, it's a start. I've got to begin somewhere. I get £8 a week. I can manage.
Oh, I see.
I started earning money when I was 14.
Then you understand.
Oh, well, perhaps I do. All I know is I was sorry I didn't have a better education. Look, you seem to be a clever boy. Why don't you stay here and finish your education and pass your exams and then go and work in the theatre if that's what you want to do? Well, doesn't that make sense?
Makes a lot of sense to me. Come on, David.
Well, I suppose I did blow my top. But I'm not joking about the theatre.
All right. I'll make a bargain with you. Go back to school, finish the examinations, and if you still want to be an actor after that, well, I'll pay for you to go to a drama school.
You would?
It's a firm promise.
It's a deal.
Oh, Mother Riley!
Rather a good meeting. I thought old Smythe was very quiet, only shouted at his sister once.
I wish that wretched boy would turn up. I should have reported it at the meeting, but if I had, Smythe and co. would only have insisted on expelling him.
No, he won't go far.
Well, we don't know, do we? Still, as long as Smythe doesn't hear about it.
No talk of the devil.
What, Smythe?
Yes, and Miss Smythe and Alderman Gale.
Oh, no, I thought they were safely on their way.
They're making straight for your door. You don't think
What?
that they found out about young Hunter?
Oh, Lord.
No, they can't have.
Well, they could have. Things get around.
Oh, well. Action stations.
Come in. General. Miss Smythe, how pleasant. A glass of sherry?
Want a word with you, Baxter?
Oh, sherry first, don't you think, General?
I'll get them.
Oh. Oh, do come and sit down, Miss Smythe. I can thoroughly recommend this. It's a really comfortable chair.
Oh, you always have good sherry, Baxter. Where'd you get it?
Left behind by my predecessor, Alderman. Nearly all gone, I'm afraid.
Well, all this poodle faking over.
1 minute, General. You haven't got your drink.
Never touch sherry.
Oh. Whiskey, then?
Never touch whiskey before 6 o'clock. Now then, can we get down to it? What's all this about a boy running away?
A boy running away?
Oh, don't pretend you don't know, man. I ran into Sergeant Plunkett by the gymnasium. Naturally asked him what the devil he was doing there. Said a boy had run away.
Ah. Well, we think...
You think what? What do you mean?
Well, his uncle's staying over in Rawsthorne, and we think he may have gone over there and missed the bus back, and we're trying to get in
But you informed the police. Why the devil didn't you report it at the governor's meeting?
Well, we had such a full agenda. Their new chemistry laboratory, which I shall always regard as your baby, General, was under discussion.
I don't like it.
But it's a magnificent building, General.
No, I mean, I don't like your attitude.
Reginald?
Oh, please be quiet, Agatha.
Well, I don't see what all the fuss is about.
Oh, don't you, Alderman Gale?
The lad went to see his uncle and Mr. Buss, that's all. Exactly. He'll be back any minute. Miss Smythe, you're not drinking your sherry. General, you sure you won't break your rule?
You should have reported it at the governor's meeting.
Yeah, well, I see that now, General. I see it all too clearly.
Good gracious, is that the time? I shall be late for lunch if I don't hurry.
Oh, I invite you to potluck at Bradbury, Alderman.
Oh, Molly'd never forgive me. Mixed grill today.
Oh, lucky you.
Well, see all the prize giving tomorrow then, eh?
Yes.
Oh, yes, and another thing. Can't say I'm at all pleased about this asking this Thursday woman to give them away. Charwoman and all that sort of thing.
Mrs. Thursday happens to be the chairman of the Dunwich Group.
Doesn't make her any less of a charwoman, does it? Come on, Agatha.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Here he is, Headmaster, all safe and sound. And you'll never guess where we found him. Working in the local theatre here.
Mr. Bussey, Headmaster.
Hale and Barker.
What happened?
Well, old Smythe started to shout, and then everyone began to talk at once. And the head told me to get out, so out I got.
Think you'll get sacked?
Dunno, I expect so.
Well, you don't mind, do you?
Well, after what Uncle Richard said about me helping me go to drama school if I pass my exams, well, yes, I do, rather.
You haven't a chance.
But of passing the exams.
Of staying. Not if old Smythe's on the warpath.
I tell you, it's a tradition of Bradbury. Any boy who runs away is not allowed back, ever. I'm amazed at your attitude. Your conduct is open to censure, severe censure, and I shall bring it up at the next governor's meeting. The boy must go at once.
Don't you think these so-called traditions are rather out of date, General?
I do not, sir. Where the devil should we be without tradition?
Surely we must keep abreast of the times.
You've got to be with it, you know.
Madam, I do not understand that, and I don't wish to.
Well, seems a shame David can't come back to take his exams. I mean, suppose it was your son.
Thank God it isn't.
You've got a point there.
As chairman of the board, I insist that this boy is expelled immediately.
Well, that seems to me a rotten thing to do.
And I am not interested in what you think, madam.
Well, you're interested enough when the Dunwich Company give you money for your school.
Your contributions do not entitle you to run the school.
Well, couldn't we have him gated for the rest of term as a punishment instead?
Ah, good idea. Yes, an excellent idea. Don't you think so, Baxter?
I'm all against expulsion.
Reginald?
Oh, please be quiet, Agatha.
Think it over, General.
There is nothing to think.
Well, everything's better thought over. You sleep on it and perhaps you think quite different in the morning.
Madam, I cannot see that this matter is any of your business.
Oh, Reginald, do sleep on it.
Oh, will you please stop interrupting, Agatha? I realise that Mr. Dunwich did a lot for the school.
Yes, he did. I only wish he was here now. He'd know what to say. After all, Mr. Hunter's nephew hasn't done anything wrong. Not really, he hasn't. I mean, I think it's funny that you, being chairman of a school like this, don't understand boys' pranks better. If you want to punish them, give them a good dollop of tapioca pudding.
I like tapioca pudding.
Oh, well, macaroni then. Does he like macaroni?
He prefers bread and butter pudding.
Oh, well, I'll make a lovely bread and
Oh,
butter
please be
pudding.
quiet. I'm going out of my mind. We are not here to discuss whether I like macaroni pudding, bread and butter pudding,
I'll
or...
give you the recipe afterwards, dear.
Thank you.
General, a young Hunter is a very intelligent boy, and it would be a disgrace to send him out into the world half-educated. Now, there are good traditions and there are bad ones, and this automatic expulsion for running away is definitely one of the bad ones. And the sooner it's eliminated, the better.
Yes, I knew we'd made a mistake in giving you this appointment.
Ah, General, don't let's get personal.
You scientists are all the same. No respect for anything.
I'm sorry you should feel like that, General.
I suggest we get back to the matter in hand.
Which is the time-honored rule that absconding boys shall be expelled.
They fought that one up 400 years ago when the school was free.
Would you mind your own business?
Well, it is his business. You know, you're a bully. That's why you shout at people, to frighten them. Well, you don't frighten me.
Madam, may I remind you, you have no right here. This is no affair of yours.
Oh, well, I've made it my affair, haven't I?
No, you don't understand. As chairman of the board, I intend calling a special meeting now. Now, this matter can be settled here and now if there are more than 3 governors present, or even 3. Now, there are 3. Myself, my sister, and Alderman Gale. So, I declare a meeting as of this moment.
This is preposterous.
It's a carve-up.
Well, of course, that's him and his sister against the alderman. Well, they're bound to win.
I declare this special meeting open. Would you mind taking notes, Barker?
Oh, very well.
Oh, and would you mind leaving, madam?
You try and shift me.
Oh, very well then. Let us proceed. Naturally, there'll be no headmaster's report.
Thank you.
Well, I think just a simple question. Are you for or against the expulsion of David Hunter? Would you put the question, Barker?
General Smythe, are you for or against the expulsion of David Hunter?
For.
Alderman Gale, are you for or against the expulsion of David Hunter?
Against.
Miss Smythe, are you for or against the expulsion of David Hunter?
For.
Hello, Reginald. Against?
That's a turn up for the book.
Oh, well done, miss.
1 for, 2 against.
Hang on, we've got nothing to mind.
I'm sorry, Reginald, but it does seem silly to cling to an outworn tradition. There's no reason for it. I think the boy should have another chance.
Here.
I wish to resign as chairman of the Board of Governors.
Can we have that in writing, General?
Old Smythe is a right old so-and-so, if you want my
He
opinion.
happens to be my father's second cousin.
Oh, to hell with him. What was he like at the rep, Dave?
Oh, bleak. But then it was only ordinary commercial provincial rep. It wasn't really theatre, if you know what I mean. Anyhow, Uncle Richard and Mrs. Thursday are going to help me go to drama school when I pass my exams.
If you pass them.
Oh, they're a piece of cake.
You still won't be taken back.
He might be.
Not a hope.
Well, thanks very much. A lot of help you are.
If you think your Mrs. Mop can alter the way Bradbury's run, you're very much mistaken.
Mrs. Mop, as you put it, is all right.
You had Lady Windlesham giving away the prizes last year.
Yeah, and pretty dreary she was too. Yes, I'm with David. I'm for Mrs. Thursday.
I wonder if she's got the nerve.
Food. Any case, it was a pretty good fill-out they gave us. Even you, Mr. Mitt, that.
Well, if you've got all that money, I still say I wonder if she's got the nerve.
Oh, shut up, Laurie.
You sure you won't come into lunch, Mrs. Thursday?
No, I couldn't. Really, I couldn't.
Oh. Well, I'll send something in here on a tray for you and Mr. Hunter. Will that be all right?
No, we've got back to the hotel.
No, I wouldn't hear of it. Now, if you'll excuse me. Oh, I'll be back as soon as I can, and then we can finalize the arrangements for tomorrow. And, Mrs. Thursday, if you don't mind my saying so, I did admire the way you stood up to that old fire eater.
Ah, well, I've met his salt before, all wind and water. Mr. Hunter, I'm not going to give those prizes away tomorrow.
Why?
I should never have let Sir Charles talk me into it. I'm not going to stand up there on a platform and make a speech in front of all those posh parents. They'd be laughing at me.
Nonsense.
Who does she think she is, they'd be thinking? Just because she's got a bit of money.
They won't be thinking anything of the kind.
It's what everybody thinks, Mr. Hunter. You know it is.
Oh, well, I don't know where I am with you. You're always changing your mind.
No, well, I'm not going to change it this time. They must find somebody else. Will you do it?
No. You can't let the headmaster and the whole school down. They're expecting you to do it.
I won't, so that's that.
Hello, Mrs. Thursday. Uncle.
Hello, dear.
I just saw the head on his way to lunch. And he said it was really all due to you that I'm not being given the sack.
Oh, no, it was Miss Smythe, really. Well, I hope you're pleased about it.
Oh, but I am. I'm very grateful. Well, I just wanted to say it. You know, see you tomorrow.
Oh, no, dear.
But you're giving away the prizes.
No.
Mrs. Thursday suddenly decided she doesn't want to.
But why?
I wish I knew.
Mrs. Thursday, you didn't hear that fool Laurie Main.
Oh, I did hear him going on about me, but that's not the only reason.
What's all this?
Laurie Main is a rotten, lousy snob, Mrs. Thursday.
Oh, I see.
Well, the rest of us want you to give away the prizes. Well, honestly, no one pays any attention to Laurie.
Oh, well, it's not only because of him. It's just, well, it's everything.
Well, if you knew the dreary old bishops and tatty old peeresses we had to endure under the last headmaster. Well, please, Mrs. Thursday, we want you. Well, I do especially. I'm getting a prize myself, you see.
And you'd rather have it presented by Mrs. Thursday than a dreary old bishop or a tatty old peeress, eh?
Well, wouldn't you?
Every time. Well, Mrs. T?
Now, you keep out of it. One of you's enough. Oh, all right.
Off you go, David.
See you tomorrow.
You can't run away now, can you?
Well, you ran away and he ran away.
Well, that makes 3 of us.
Oh, well.
And in addition to these, I'm happy to say that Cowdrey Major, captain of Rugger during the last very successful season, has won a bursary to Bailey. In sport, I'm afraid we have not had a uniformly distinguished year. At cricket, we lost the Melchester match by an innings and 4 runs. However, at rugby, in what turned out to be our most successful season for many years, we defeated Winthrop by 9 points to 0. The first time we've beaten them in 70 years. I'm not going to say any more. The progress report has been printed and is available to everybody. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our guest of honor, Mrs. Thursday.
Mr. Headmaster, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen and boys, because when they asked me to come here and give away your prizes, they didn't tell me I had to make a speech, see? So it's rather made me feel a bit, well, you know, well, of course, I've never been in a public school before, I've never seen a school so big as this and so historic. Because the school I went to, you see, down the east end of London, well, we only had a tin roof, and all the conveniences were out the back. Yes, well, that's no joke in winter, you know. Still, in spite of all that, it was a very good little school, and I only wish I could have stayed there a bit longer to complete my education. But I do remember I did win a prize once when I was 6 years of age for reciting my 6 times table all through without a mistake. I think I remember it. 6 1's a 6, 6 2's a 12, 6 3's a 6 3, and so on. Which brings me to your lovely prizes and all your lovely scholarships. I must say, you've got a lot of very clever boys here. And so, in the words of that man on the telly, what keeps saying, give them a big hand, shall we? Well, come on, give them a big hand. Oh, well, I expect you want to have a look at your prizes, so I'll get on now to reading your school motto, which is, in Latin, Floreat semper brevi verica, which translated, I think, means something like, always do your best, and Bob's your uncle.
Thank you, Mrs. Thursday. The Senior English Prize, R.H. Hammersley, Campbell House. The Humphrey Layton Essay Prize, R. McB. Fitzgerald, Crichton House. Special prize for Shakespeare study, D.A. Hunter, Dorchester House.